Everybody, welcome to the NFL um, wild card round preview, playoff preview here up.
AFC.
And yeah, we are going to dive into the AFC for sure today. We are up on the Fantasy Goats YouTube channel. I am your shepherd. That gentleman right there is your commissioner.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you?
I'm doing good, but before we get going, I just want to send my hearts and thoughts out to everybody in LA County that are affected by these fires. I'm 60 miles east of them. It's clear up here where I'm at, but man, my heart goes out to everybody out there.
60 miles? I thought it was a greater distance. So 60 miles,
No,
60 miles isn't that far.
no,
I,
not
I,
at
I
all.
for some reason I was picturing further out,
No.
maybe 90 miles, maybe 120 miles, and I'm just 60 miles isn't that far. Nevertheless, yeah, that's a lousy situation altogether.
Yep, yep,
Not
yep.
not man made, so there's not much that could really be done about it. But man is trying to fight it,
Mm-hmm.
and right now, Mother Nature is winning, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Based on that,
yeah.
Justin, literally maybe 15 minutes ago before we came on, they are going to move the Rams Vikings game to Arizona. There is precedence for this situation. I
Yeah.
guess the last time would be COVID.
What? And then
Well, was there a time
yeah,
after?
no, not for the Rams, but the Niners game had to be switched to Arizona because of might have been a fire. Might have been a fire out in that area.
Was that within the last 4 years, though?
Yeah, yeah,
Was it? Oh,
I
shit.
believe so.
Oh, well, I mean, again, look, under the extreme circumstances, that would be the location to move to, and yeah. So I mean, the Rams going to go to Arizona. The Vikings have to just not fly into LA. They have to fly into Arizona, Phoenix area, and does this change the game for the Rams?
Um,
I don't think it
a little
does.
bit, not much, because they played there, so they're used to playing on that field. And the Rams fans will travel to Arizona,
Yeah,
but
that's
not
why.
as much. Not as
That's
much.
why. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
Yeah.
it. I don't think it will. Shouldn't really change it drastically. This wasn't going to be an easy game to begin with.
No.
Never. I mean, so whether you're playing in SoFi or I guess whatever distance that is from Phoenix to. I mean, again, it's within reasonable proximity. They're obviously going to keep the
six
Rams
hour
close.
6 hour drive for me. So about 7.5 hours for 8 hours
Yeah,
for LA people.
yeah, they were going to keep the Rams. They were going to keep the Rams close to home. They don't want to. They don't want to take resources away
No.
from what's taking place there. To now watch over or be available for a live event.
Well, that
Makes
air quality is bad too.
that as well. That as well. So yeah, I mean, there's several factors that went into it. So again, yeah, it's a shitty situation. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, we don't. We're not really going to get into the ins and outs of why these things are occurring on the
No.
show.
No.
We're
No.
not going to
No.
get not going to get into that. We're not going to get into prevention or any of that crap.
No. This is
What we
out.
are what we are going to do is we're going to talk about the AFC playoff matchups. Before we get into that, though, Rhino, we do have other news and notes. The last time that we were on was
Yes,
Monday,
we
so
do.
like there was obviously some like surefire fires,
Mm-hmm.
no pun intended.
I know.
La- um, but since that, since
Since
that,
that.
since that,
Since
Rhino,
that.
yeah, there was some, again, some
Some
close to
Bush League
home.
shit that happened.
Bush League.
Bush League, in my opinion, is Bush League. You don't let a coach go out and do a press conference on a Monday, then fire him on a Tuesday. That's just wrong. And then they fired Telesco today, and it's just wrong to me. Okay, I'll back up. Okay, AP, yeah, he had a shitty record. But he's given chicken shit, and they want to make him chicken salad out of it, and he couldn't do it. Not with what he had. Not with what he had. It's just sad. And just okay, so there's been 20 coaches for the Raiders the last 12 years. In the last 4 years, this coming year coming up, we the fourth or fifth general manager and fourth coach. There's no continuity. If you can't have continuity, they're not going to be able to do shit. I don't care what anybody says. And these people want to sit there and say the Raiders are a poverty franchise. They can kiss my ass because no poverty. They have multiple wins. Are they on the downside of things right now? Yeah, but they just need to pull their heads out their asses and get this shit right. Word is around is that Ben Johnson is really interested in the Lakers. Lakers in the Raiders job.
You could probably do that one too.
Yeah. So I just whatever they do, hey, I don't agree with them firing the GM. He had a good draft last year. He missed on Minshew, but who knew that was going to happen? Nobody knew. They started off wrong by hiring the wrong OC, so they were behind the eight ball. It's just the season was just a mess, and the team played hard for AP. So that's my whole Rhino rant on the whole situation. So I just hope that they get it together and they let whoever comes in next, if they have a bad season, which they probably will, they're probably 2 or 3 seasons, 2 or 3 good drafts out for being relevant.
Let me
let them build the team.
Let me ask you an important question. Last season, when he took over the job for Josh McDaniel, he got ringing endorsements.
Yeah,
one of them was from Max Crosby. The other one was from Davante Adams, and he got ringing endorsements from those two players to remove the intern tag off,
right,
and to be named to be a head coach of the Raiders. What do you think, in your opinion? Because we're not going to know this for a fact. I don't believe this will ever come to light. What do you think took place in between the endorsements from Davante Adams, Max Crosby, to him now being ousted?
Max Crosby still stands by AP. He still stands by him. I don't think Davante Adams had a problem with AP. I think he had a problem with the GM Telesco. I think he had a problem with him.
So, again, I don't know about that.
I just know from what Max Crosby has said on his podcast and stuff about AP and how much he loves him, and he shouldn't be treated like he's being treated. So yeah, no, I don't think he didn't lose a locker room at all. If you lose the locker room, you're not going to win freaking 3 out of the last 4 games. They're not going to play for you.
It's true. I mean, I guess there are many players that were still playing for AP, such as the quarterback, obviously, who's kind of singular in that department. He's playing for his own job. You had a veteran running back that was playing well, and you had some defensive players that, again, you had enough pieces there that we're still playing hard. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you other than that perhaps, just perhaps, and again, I don't know to hold this to be true or not. That what we thought of his leadership,
Hmm.
of him being a good leader, we didn't hear much from Max
There
Crosby
were some questions about his coaching.
out
Yeah,
front.
there was.
We didn't hear much about that, and I don't. And again, I wouldn't have thought that Devontae Adams had a problem with the general manager.
That's just what I read earlier from one
Yeah,
of the
I don't.
content creators,
That that
content creators.
yeah
I don't think that was true. I think he just wanted out.
yeah, that doesn't jive. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
why? And right, he wanted out, and like, forget about where he went.
that's why
That's a di-
he just
that's a
wanted.
different
He was tired of
that
losing.
that's a different story.
He
But
thought
like,
that he could find greener grass going someplace else, and I didn't.
that perhaps he endorsed the wrong guy. Is where I was going.
Well,
Per,
maybe I don't know. I
perhaps,
would. I just know.
perhaps
I just know that the players played hard for him. It's over with now. You
that
know.
he took a look at what was going on early and said, you know what, this.
Well,
Nevertheless,
I do know that he had a problem with Getsy. He had a problem with Minshew. He didn't like Minshew. He was in, Adams was endorsing AOC. He was endorsing AOC in the last year, saying he needs to be a starting quarterback next year. He liked AOC, but he didn't fit into
he didn't like
Getsy's his quarterbacking scheme.
he didn't like him as much as he liked Aaron Rodgers, though.
No, well, no. Who is? I mean, who wasn't?
Which again,
Right out of the two evils.
which is a different topic altogether. Different plot,
Yeah,
and that whole situation. Um,
and we will
yeah,
never know.
well, there'll be a lot of reporting. There'll be a lot of speculation as to what went down or what people think went down. I think, and let's rewind for a second because you said poverty franchise and people are saying like a poverty stricken franchise. I don't necessarily buy that either.
No,
I don't believe in the rich history of the Raiders from what was to now being poverty
yeah,
stricken. No,
exactly.
what I do think is that sometimes the apple does fall far from the tree.
Yeah,
In this case, the son of the
yeah. Oh yeah.
legendary Al Davis may not really have a good handle on what the hell to do.
Hey, the same thing's going to happen to the Cowboys too. Eventually,
I
you
well,
watch. Yeah, because they have
very,
the
very,
same dynamic. You
it's
know.
it's it's possible, yes.
So I mean,
Without
hopefully Tom Brady is this football savant. You know.
well, that's where more speculation is coming into play
Mhm.
now.
Oh yeah.
Where okay, now you have this dude who all he knows is winning. He has a percentage and a title attached to that percentage.
Yeah.
Limited, very limited. Okay, so I don't know. I don't exactly know what the limited means in terms of.
Just limit. But eventually, the plan is for him to take over football operations. That's the plan.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah.
That again, that's speculation. No one is. That's what people are speculating
That's what
now.
Mark Davis said. I read a quote from Mark Davis.
Okay, where was that quote? From
Oh,
report
oh,
from
huh?
yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is what would have to happen. He has to get out of that Fox contract. That's first and foremost
Well,
because
yeah.
that's what's paying
Oh,
him.
yeah, no doubt.
That's what's really paying him. Not
Yeah,
whatever.
that's what 15 million a year.
I think it's more than that. Well,
Right.
a year maybe a year. You have to get out of that. You have to bump up his stake or his shares, and now
Yeah.
that limit is not limited anymore.
Yeah.
He becomes like minority, and then you could slap on like president of football operations or something along those
Right.
lines. Something where now you're actually able to be the face of the franchise as opposed to being like a limited investor. Is
Yep.
basically what it is. Basically what that is right now. Why he's able to work at Fox, why he's able to collect shares or revenue, whatever the case may be. Yes. Now again, just because the boy wonder, the TB12, all he knows is winning as a player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we think that he'll be able to like. I'm sure there's got to be people within the circles that he's bouncing around with,
Of
or
course there is.
in his network of connections and all that. Where you would think that they'll be able to come to some sort of like, okay, now this is the blueprint. Let's do this. This is how. Of course, with his football acumen and his eye for winning,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think that's where Mark kind of take a step back, kind of get out of the limelight a little bit, still get credit.
Yeah.
Still, the camera will still flash on him or will show him in the box, so you don't have to worry about that part. I think it'll just be more along the lines of what we saw with John Elway in Denver. Again, different circumstances where that owner, I believe, like his health was deteriorating.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy to give John Elway not just the president of football operations, but a piece of that family's business, which was the Broncos. So yeah, I mean, I think these would be the next steps to take place. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if this happens within like the next few weeks. I don't know if this
I don't
happens.
think so.
Well, again, I don't know if you could get out of right. I don't know you get out of your Fox contract like that.
No. We'll see
You
what
know,
what
you know what I
transponders
mean?
here.
Like, we're not talking about local KKTV in Henderson, Nevada.
Yeah.
We're talking about Fox. I don't know if Fox has the Super Bowl this year. So I mean, like, there's a lot of like. I think that might have to kind of take shape down the road. Nevertheless, I think that would be the only appropriate blueprint. Who the hell would you bring in for the Raiders now anyway? Who are you going to bring in? Is Tom Brady? I mean, like, I'm sure. Okay, here's the other thing, right? Limited. I'm sure he can make a phone call, or
Yeah.
to Mark Davis or vice versa. What do you think about this? Well, I think that. I'm sure that. I'm
Maybe
sure.
that's what's happening. He's in his ear.
I'm sure that takes
He's there.
place.
He's there for advisory advisory.
The input and the feedback like that. Sure, I'm sure. Now that, especially now that you just fired a general manager, you really don't have anybody that's officially running the football operations that's not an owner.
No, the only one person maybe is Champ Kelly, who was assistant GM, and he's the one that probably should have been hired in the first place. But
You would know more of the inner workings of the Raiders than I would like that. Nevertheless, yeah, they've got a couple of good pieces there. Yeah. More work needs to be done, and just because you hire the right suit.
Yeah, they think they have like 137. They got a lot. I think second or third most money over salary or under salary cap to use. So
again, we're gonna go right back to poverty stricken because I'm not buying that. It's an attractive destination just based on location.
Yeah.
Just based on the brand new stadium, based on if you have a sense of history.
Exactly, especially
putting on the silver and black. So I mean, again, this isn't the Cincinnati Bengals
or the Browns.
Just because the Bengals may have more talent on their roster, that owner and the way that franchise is ran is not. You can't treat all franchises in the same manner, in the same fashion. So Arthur Blank is a billionaire times 10. They can never get out of their own winning way. They can't. They'll
No.
never get out of their losing way. So the Jets. Well, the Jets won Super Bowl like at the turn of like 1970 something. Big deal. That guy can't get out of his own way either.
No. What's up, Trophy Steeler? How you doing, brother?
That would be more of a poverty stricken franchise, and I'm standing right in it. So I'll be the first. I'll be the first to admit it. So now that we are on the Jets and I don't want to spend too much time on this. It was the it was this past off season, but early in 2024, we were on the space. Now Rodgers obviously hasn't played yet for the Jets, and I was talking to the Sparky Sharky. It was the Sparky Sharky space, and it was like, if Jet fans think that we're going to get some, 2021 MVP Aaron Rodgers, everyone's kidding themselves. They ain't never going to be close to that. You're going to get more of the 2022 Aaron Rodgers, and that stat line.
Yeah.
So he just wrapped up week 18 where he threw for 4 touchdowns and he threw for X amount of yards, and he just made it over the stat line from 2022. Yeah. Rhino, it's damn near an identical stat line from 2022. And here's the trouble with that. It puts him basically right in like the middle of the pack in terms of all the quarterbacks in the league. What are the Jets going to do with that?
He's going to be 42 years old?
Yeah, and he's going to say, I can still play. I can still play. I got Devontae Adams. I got young Garrett Wilson. We got Breece Hall. Just get me more offensive line help. Now, again, in his mind, he thinks that he could still play. Now, the Jets are going to hire a new head coach. They're going to hire a new GM, hopefully in tandem with one another, like they just interviewed Nagy and the assistant general manager of the Chiefs.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, and I think that is a fantastic ticket, by the way.
Yeah.
I would take that ticket over a Rex Ryan ticket. Get me the assistant general manager of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
You know what? Who the hell has been working underneath John Lynch? Get me that guy. Yes, get me guys that know that what winning looks like right now. Okay, so now they're gonna come in. Let's cross fingers that so hypothetically, Nagy, this guy, I think his last name's like Borzini. I'm probably butchering that up, and forgive me. The assistant general manager, they have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Do we run it back with 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who's coming off of like a 36, 37, 100-yard season, 28 touchdowns? I mean, it was, again, by standard measurement, stacking that up against 32 other quarterbacks, he comes in at like around the 14th, 15th, something along those lines. So it's like, could you think you're going to do better with whom? Are you going to do? You think you're going to do better with Tyrod Taylor or
the kid they drafted out Florida State last year?
There's he's on roster, but I don't believe he's going to get a shot, or he's just going to be like he's a depth quarterback at this time.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, it would be the options are. If not Rodgers, you start with a Tyrod Taylor, and you either hope for who? I mean, like you're not bringing Sam Darnold back to New York.
No, but no. Draft a quarterback and let him sit for a year. Draft a Ewers or Jackson Dart or Riley Leonard or
I don't know if they could pull that off. I really don't.
The first round, the second, third round draft pick.
The other option. Are you ready for this one? And then we could just segue right into the game. The free agent quarterback is the main free agent quarterback of the market, not named Sam Darnold. Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Justin Fields. Now, here's, and I swear on my mother, Rhino, I swear on your mother, may they rest in peace, both of them. So I'm hearing this on one of the podcasts, and you know the ones that I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing this. They roll out with Tyrod Taylor, and they bring in Justin Fields, and this and that and that and this. Not once do they make a connection that Justin Fields actually played with Garrett Wilson at Ohio
Oh,
State.
right. Yeah.
But that connection was failed to be made. So, but immediately I said, well, the only reason I could see them doing it is because of that. Other than that, though, that young man named Justin Fields, who he's kind of, tell me your thoughts. He's kind of still like treading water, like lightly, he's
Very
like
lightly.
he's almost a full-time starter, and he's almost like a third stringer. Like it's that close. Because right now, there's talks that he may actually get into the game on Saturday.
That's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine about that, who's a diehard Steelers fan.
Now, I'm not sure at what capacity were they like thinking about this, but yeah, if you spoke to your friend about it, I'm hearing chatter about it, that whether it be in types of packages, or that he just may take over the game depending on how it goes. Hearing. I don't know. I'm not sure what the game script would have to be.
Well, let's say that the Ravens get up right away, right? And Russell Wilson is looking washed like he has last few games. Then I think they'll put Fields in to ignite him. But I don't think the Ravens will be up that far. I think because Steelers have got some defensive pieces coming back.
Let's not
Ravens are 1-3 against them in the playoffs.
There's that.
Yeah,
there's that,
and they know each other, so it's 1-1. The last game was an anomaly. They got their asses handed to them, but to me, the Steelers, if the Steelers win, we already know they can control. They do a good job of controlling Lamar Jackson. With Zay Flowers out now, they have to worry about Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, and the other tight end. Bateman's kind of banged up, but they still have to watch out for Bateman. So if they can control that and they get pressure on Lamar Jackson and control him, they can win. They can win. But, and also, I will say this. They need to get the ball to freaking Mike Williams more. They need to get the ball to Mike Williams more, too. George Pickens' hands is unreliable. And then once he drops a couple passes, his head is out of the game. And he just turns to shit. So they need to get the ball to Williams. They don't need to freaking run the ball 150,000 times.
I almost forgot about Mike Williams.
What about?
No, man. I almost forgot that he's on the roster.
It's sad. Every time he makes a good catch, and then he's out. So they need to get the ball to him. They need to get the ball to to Austin and Jefferson, and don't hyper freaking target Pickens.
I think there's a couple of ways that the Steelers can at least make this competitive.
Yeah.
There's a couple of ways. We're not thinking that crazy out of the box because of some of the things that you already mentioned, Rhino. A, these teams know one another. Okay. B, the Steelers may have a game plan that none of us are thinking about. Whether that game plan is on defense, well, it's going to have to be on defense.
Yeah.
Okay. And now here comes some of the creative stuff, and yeah, I think it does not involve George Pickens.
I hope
I
so.
mean, like he's got to be out there on the field, and I don't want to say like, yeah, like they're gonna just go to him and say, "Yo, just run the route." So be be ready for crying out loud. Like be
Yeah,
ready for when your number is called, and when your number is called, look if look, I mean, they don't say, look, just try to catch. They don't say that, but it's more like when you just be ready. Okay, fine. However, I think the game plan is going to have to get a little bit different. They're gonna have to do some of the stuff that we've seen work for them. Like we've seen Calvin Austin work for
right.
them in very special or specific design. We've seen Van Jefferson work for them in certain play designs. We I believe, and I think you'll agree, um, use the tight end in the middle of the field. Use
There you
him.
go. Exactly. Run,
Use you
run. Yep.
look and
Run deep
if
routes, man. Bam.
look if it's not Pat Fryermuth on every single snap, then you might then use the other one
Do Darnell
often.
Washington.
Yeah,
Do
use the other one. Go ahead. Again, there are ways where the Steelers could get creative and make this
hmm
competitive as long as their defensive holds up. But that's the challenge.
Yeah, that's trusting Arthur Smith. That's
That's
to get out of his own damn way. You know.
well, back. So if you back to Arthur Smith, I think again, if they could use some of these other pieces, Jalen Warren, use the two tight ends, do these designed routes for the other wide receivers, and then just when the Ravens are caught off guard, perhaps, then put up one of your go balls to George
Yep.
Pickens, or or, or,
Or
or
Mike Williams.
call or call his number in the end zone. That's correct. Now again, back to the other side of the ball, the Steelers on defense. I know you mentioned okay, they're going to be out. Zay Flowers is not going to play in this game.
No.
Rashad Bateman might be a little banged up. Now Rashad Bateman's no number one wide receiver
No.
either.
He's borderline number 2.
But the Ravens again, the Ravens have gotten creative, and the Ravens also now have the run game. So what do the Steelers have to do to stop this?
Need to stop Henry and stop Lamar Jackson. Cover Andrews.
I think what they have to do is make it look like they're dropping people into coverage, but now load the box up
Yeah, they
or
need. Yeah,
put
they
put a guy on Lamar so he doesn't take off. Well, now you have another 6, 7 guys in the box for Henry. You shouldn't have to drop that many people in coverage if it's only
no.
Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, and Nelson Aguilar. These
And it's
guys,
be aggressive off the line too.
right? I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to put a lot of DBs on the field for that for these guys. You just got to. You better man up. Rashad Bateman, whether you want to put Joey Porter Jr. on him or not, and then make sure you're accounting for the run game. And when I mean the run game, I mean there's 2 dudes there that could run.
Yeah,
The quarterback and Derrick Henry. I don't know about the blitzing, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's the, I don't know if that's the I don't know if that's the route to go.
yeah. I don't think they need to, anyways.
I don't
They
think
get enough pressure on them, anyways.
I don't think that would be the route to go because Lamar could just get the hell out of that. So
And
you
they
might
better
as
have better, and then Steelers too. Sorry to interrupt you. Steelers better have Peyton Peyton Willis, where the middle linebacker. They better have him or Patrick Queen spying on him. Lamar too, to keep him in check. They need a spy.
I just said that. Yeah, you might as well have one guy sitting there watching Lamar. If it's a linebacker, which generally it is, the linebacker can also pay attention to what Andrews is doing, more likely. watch Lamar, make sure that he doesn't turn the edge, and then you could keep some of the other linebackers in. Absolutely, keep the other dudes in and try to plug up the holes that Derrick Henry's going to run through. And that's it right there. I mean, if that's the way it's going to play out, it would be amazing. But it's a 10-point spread. I don't think the Ravens will just absolutely dog walk the Steelers. I don't think
What do you think the score's going to be?
What do I think the score will be? I mean, it could be 28-21. It could be,
like
it could be something along those lines. It could be a 28-24. If the Steelers wind up winning this game, I would imagine it being lower scoring, a lower scoring affair if the Ravens aren't putting up points.
Yeah.
If the Ravens are putting up points, yeah. Because we know what the Steelers are. We know what their offense is. I don't necessarily think like Russell Wilson is just gonna put on his Superman cape and start throwing touchdowns all over the place either. What I do think is possible is them to be able to get themselves to the other side of the field by doing some of these other things. You got a weapon in Jalen Warren. You've got a speedster in Calvin Austin. You've got experience. You've got a professional in Van Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
And you happen to have a head case in George Pickens. Whether he decides to show up or not is a different story. Where are you drafting George Pickens next season, Rhino? And then we'll move on.
Where am I drafting George Pickens? Probably.
Well, I have another fantasy question.
Maybe 5th, 6th round.
No.
Around there.
Sounds about where he was going this year.
Was it?
About.
Then I'll probably
approximate.
Probably maybe 7th round, maybe.
Well, I mean, again, based on his last couple of games, the negative press that he's getting right now, I mean, he's going into his 4th season next year.
Yep, I don't think they're going to pick up there.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Your option on them.
We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. And Najee Harris is going to be a free agent. Is this? Is he somebody that the Raiders should be looking at in terms of their running back? So no more Amir Abdullah experiments. No more Alexander Madison is obviously not coming back.
No,
McCormick.
I can see him
sincerely.
But not starter, but as a backup. I can see him. I can see Najee Harris going to the Raiders or the Cowboys. Actually,
Cowboys. The Cowboys, I could see.
Yeah.
See, it depends on that contract. I think Najee Harris will get a pretty decent contract.
Yeah, if the Raiders. I mean, if the Steelers don't resign, I mean, the dude 4 straight years over 1,000 yards. He does it quietly. He don't, So he can run. He gets you yards. It might not be pretty, but this game's interesting. This is my upset of the week.
This is no upset. Wait. Well, depends on which team you're picking.
Chargers.
That's no upset.
You don't think so? But Texans are favored.
Yeah. Well, okay. Just because I put a 4 there next to.
No. They're favored in the game.
Big deal. Texans are playing in this game by default of their own division.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The Texans are in trouble. They have no weapons outside of Nico Collins. Joe Mixon is playing like his old Joe Mixon self, not like the early 2024 Joe Mixon. The Chargers, what have we said about the Chargers all season practically? All season. Come on.
They're sneaky good, and they play the right way. They run the game. They run the ball. What?
No, well, yes, we said all that, sure. We said no,
I
but what
can't
have we
remember
said
everything
about
we say.
what? Yes, you. Well, when I say this right now, you'll be like, oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
What have we said about the Chargers anytime they have had to play not in Los Angeles? They're a good
They play
traveling
better.
defense. They're a
Yeah.
good traveling defense.
Yeah. Good traveling. Yep. And
Charge
indoors.
the Chargers are a better football team than this Texans team. The last time we saw Justin Herbert in the playoffs was 2 seasons ago in Jacksonville.
God, yeah.
They got out to a 28 to
28.
nothing. Yep, 28 to something. It was a lot to a little in the first half, and then Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars just like rattled off like 5 scores in a row. I think a lot has changed since that, though. And his name
Well, yeah,
is Jim Harbaugh.
yeah. Better coaching.
His name is Jim Harbaugh, Jesse Minter. Let's not forget they know C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how the
Yeah.
Texans win this game.
I
I don't.
mean, they have to play a near perfect game, and Mixon would need to be Mixon like he was 4 or 5 weeks ago when I thought he could be in combination for RB1. If that's not if Mixon isn't running, then no, then Stroud needs to get out of his head. He needs to look. He needs to look at the checkdowns instead of trying to check the ball 15, 20 yards. There's so many times that he misses running backs coming out of the outfield, out of the backfield, that he could have just dink and dunked. They would won.
Well,
So he just needs to be smart.
I mean, that'll only take you like for like a handful of times. I don't know if you could necessarily put a lot of points on the board that way. But they don't have many options. They don't have a very prolific tight end. They don't have other wide receiver options opposite of Nico
What's this
Collins.
is Deontay Johnson? Hey, do you remember me? Kind of
Oh,
game.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too, but
And
what if?
even if he does make some kind of impact, I don't think it'll be enough of an impact. I think the Chargers, Greg Roman, they will put together a game plan where they'll take the Texans right out of it.
Yeah, they'll
Just
run the ball, and throw it. Hit McConkey and Quentin Johnson.
Palmer's not going to be in this game, so he's been ruled out. Speaking of other injuries, by the way, might as well just look at the phone. I know AJ Brown did not practice today, but
He said he's a go.
yeah, that was more like a rest.
Yeah.
It
looks like Perks was a full participation today.
He's a participant without actually being cleared yet, which is, I mean, again, everyone and their grandmother believes that he will be cleared, so we're not really concerned with that. And he's practicing, so I mean, like, there was maybe one or two others. Yeah, JK's questionable. Gus is cleared. Jordan Love is a full practice. Yeah, other than that, we're okay. Oh, Aaron Jones limited.
Yeah.
No big deal. Kate Otten full. All right. So yeah, there's yeah, I kind of feel like the Chargers are just a better football team. They've
better coach too.
They've played better football this entire season than the Texans. And the Texans, again, they've been victim of something that I've said that I talk about often. It's called attrition.
Yeah.
They have been victims of attrition, injury. It happens. Their offensive line play has gotten weaker. Not due to injury. They have regressed.
Yeah.
You've got the running back who's getting banged up here, getting banged up there. And then you've lost two Pro Bowl caliber wide receivers. And it's tough order. And Rhino, who do we want to talk about? Yeah, I mean, Nico Collins is close to a first round pick next season, just based on volume alone.
Yeah. Some of the mock drafts I'm seeing come across.
And
Top.
I think I would pass on that.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I don't. I'm not taking Nico Collins in the first round.
No.
I'm not feeling that. um, yeah. See, I mean, J.K. As long as he continues to stay healthy, he's on a 1 year deal. J.K. Dobbins is a free agent, so it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see what happens with him. Um, Quentin Johnston is coming into his third season. Let's see, as long as they don't bring in another wide receiver.
Of everybody, he helped his draft stock more than anybody else I can think of right now this year. Because last year last season he was really being drafted, or if he was, he's being drafted as a.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't at all. Yeah, no, you have to catch the ball if you're a wide receiver in this league.
It's kind of important to catch the ball.
You have to catch the ball. It's like that's like the most important part of your job. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're an offensive lineman, like a tackle or a guard, you have to block.
Yep.
Then you're not asked to catch the ball. Holy smokes! Yeah, Quinn Johnson. Imagine that. And to be fair and objective, he did still get some of the dropsies.
Oh yeah, he did.
So it wasn't like he was completely foolproof, but he had a much better season.
Yes.
And this game is the 1:00 game on Sunday. We've got the number 2 Bills hosting the Denver Broncos. I feel like the Denver Broncos, as nice of a job as Sean Payton has done, as nice of a story as Bo Nix has been as a rookie, has as lousy of what we perceive to be running backs for fantasy purposes for the Denver Broncos. It seems to work for them. I feel like this team is still a little early.
Yeah, but I think if everything, if they play a near perfect game, I think they could probably upset the Bills. But that's a big if, you know.
So
they have a good defense. They can contain Josh Allen. You know, if they contain James Cook. I'm not really worried about the receivers too much. You know, so I think they stack up well with the Bills, but they're a younger team and they're rookie quarterback who has played in big games in college, but not NFL.
Who? Bo Callahan?
Yeah. So I would trust because he's older and
he's
more.
He's elder statesman. He's probably
be,
older than Josh Allen.
No, I don't think so.
No,
it's probably close. So
I'm joking.
If he keeps composure, with as good as Broncos defense is, they could pull off an upset. I don't think this game is going to be a runaway like everybody thinks it's going to be. I don't think so. I think it was going to be 31-28, something like that. You know, or lower. But the main thing they need to do is contain Josh Allen.
Oof, yeah.
That's a big oof.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Very much like Lamar. I mean, so you know that they're both two-way players, that they could take off and beat you with their legs, or especially more so this season or even last season and this season for Lamar, now beating him beating you with his arm. We know Josh Allen could do that as well. Here's what I would say: that from everything that we know, the Broncos do play a lot of man. We know that. And this is where it could get a little dicey, a little messy for Josh Allen, but now how are you going to stop him? Or how are you going to stop the ground attack? And they don't have like anyone really like prolific in terms of wide receivers. If you maybe want to put Khalil Shakir up there, maybe.
So I think, is Cooper out this week?
No, Amari Cooper's back.
He's playing. Okay, he's back.
But I don't really, again, like, could you really? I don't know if he's like the focal point of their passing attack this week either. I mean, just the way the Bills play, the way the Bills have been rotating their wide receivers onto the field or per snap, per down, I think it could be any given one. And I think that poses a little bit of a challenge for the Broncos.
And I think it's going to be more of a run-heavy game too, because Denver's defense doesn't stop the run as good as the pass.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
They might be James Cook, Ray Davis, and Josh Allen.
Well, yeah. And I was going to say, and they have another dude, the pass catching running back as well, Ty Johnson. So, I mean, like, there's a lot of different ways that the Bills could attack this Broncos team. I do think it will be a higher scoring affair.
Yeah.
So if I had to like choose between, will this game be higher scoring than the Ravens Steelers? I would think that this game would be.
Yeah, I agree.
But at the end of the day, I think we're gonna have to give the experience here
to the Bills.
To the Bills, yeah. It's not necessarily it's not that Sean Payton doesn't have the experience over Sean McDermott and vice versa. I mean, like, Sean Payton's got himself plenty of playoff experience. It's just a much different setting right now. This will be their first playoff game that he's in charge of with the Broncos. It's a little bit different, and that's why I kind of feel like they're a little early. Like, give them maybe more defensive help in the offseason. Give Bo Nix another season or the offseason. More development for Mims. Maybe get themselves a tight end. Get themselves a running back.
Yeah.
Maybe Sean Payton's disgusted with the three of them, but we just don't know that.
No, we don't.
I mean, because Audric Estime is not terrible, but Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams is.
Yes.
And Jaleel McLaughlin has been a disappointment. But I don't know.
But he's showing some flashes though too, when you least expect it. But
flashes, yes.
Yes,
but not enough of it. Not enough of it, and that might be Sean Payton's fault too.
Yeah.
But I think it would be. I think they need. I would think that they would want to get some more help up front. That's where I would think that they would want some help up front, and we'll be talking about them next season. Let's see what happens with the Chiefs. Whether Kelsey retires or not, or like what kind of a run they go on next season. Then the Broncos should be right back in the thick of it, but it's impressive that they made it this season.
Is there any player on this team that might be sneaky good, that might just take over the game, do you think, on either team?
To take over a game? No. The only person I could see taking over the game would be Josh Allen. No, I mean, I don't think we're not getting any Marvin Mims type of like.
What about James
fireworks. Cook? I think James Cook will have his number called. I think James Cook will be utilized. I don't necessarily know if James Cook is going to go off for over 100 and score 2 touchdowns. I think this is going to be a very, very like well distributed offensive production, in my opinion. This is all, again,
I respect your opinion.
Yeah, I appreciate that. This is all just like, again, could it go the other way? Could Amari Cooper have 3 touchdowns for like 80 yards and 3 touchdowns? Yeah, sure. Are we getting Mac the Knife Hollins into the end zone this week? with hopefully wearing shoes. I mean, yeah, I mean, like all that. So
Where do you
I bet
think where are you drafting James Cook next year in the draft?
in a redraft, I would probably take him in the late second again
Yeah,
if I had to, but only as an RB2,
right.
not as my RB1. I
Right.
want James Cook as my RB2.
Yeah.
I have James Cook. I have James Cook in the dynasty,
Oh,
right?
you do?
I do. I
Oh,
do.
nice.
Yeah, but I gotta do some work there. I gotta do some work there. I gotta fire somebody. I gotta fire Brian Robinson Jr. I don't want him. I don't want him. Yeah. Then that Rhino would be the AFC wild card preview. Um, the game should be fine. I mean, look, we get the highest level of competition
Yeah.
these next few weeks. I mean, the highest level of competition that translates into the games being fantastic.
So all of these games, which game do you think? Oh, well, I guess we both said Steelers probably have probably the best chance of upsetting.
Yeah, because I don't. Again, that Chargers, that 4-5 Chargers on the road. To me, that's not an upset. I mean, it'll go down technically as an upset, but
Right.
that's not the upset to me. I think that again, a lot is going to have to go right for the Steelers to pull this one out. It's possible based on several different sets of scenarios and situations. A, yeah, they know each other. B, oh, look, you gotta come up with an absolutely fine game plan, and as long as that game plan is executed, if it's executed, and you're gonna rattle the Ravens offense enough, and
Yeah.
they're not scoring points. They're down a weapon. Use that to your advantage. Let's not worry about freaking Nelson Aguilar and Isaiah Likely. Like, sure, you pay attention to them when you're like, when the Ravens are on the 15, you pay attention to them in the red zone.
Yeah. It'll
But
be
like,
interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens if the Steelers lose. Will Tomlin still be there, or will they finally pull the plug on him and fire him?
no, they will never fire him. They'll never fire him. It would be like a mutual parting of the
Party.
ways.
Okay.
Um, B, I did hear that I hear his name being floated in trades.
Oh, okay.
Trade. Go get Tomlin in a trade. So I mean that's also that's an interesting scenario as well. Like some teams they may want to trade him. Wouldn't you like him in the Raiders? The Raiders
Yeah.
head coach
Oh,
Mike
hell yeah.
Tomlin.
Big time.
He's a good football coach, and he's got enough of years of he's got the resume. Let me put it that way. Yes,
He's a good OC.
he's
A
he's
OC that open the game up
he's
for the
got the
off.
he's got the resume. Yes, it's been a little bit of a cold streak the last few years. It's been but he has had the Ravens number.
Yep.
Let's see what Arthur Smith has to do
Yeah.
with this game. Let's see that in action, and let's see what the Steelers defense does,
It's gonna
because
be.
that's what it's going to come down to.
What game are you looking forward most to watching?
Not that one.
I I knew that.
Not that one. It would be probably the Bills Broncos.
Yeah. Same here.
Oh no! Oh, I mean that if I had to go through the entire weekend slate, I would. I'd probably Commanders Bucks.
Yeah. Same here. That's the one I'm really looking forward to.
Commanders
Other
Bucks.
than the Rams Raider, other than the Rams and Vikings game, but yeah, that one.
No, that game is not doing it for me.
I know it's not, but because I'm
It's
a Rams
not.
fan, so
It's not. I think the Rams are going to beat them though.
yeah.
I do. I don't even forget about whether the game is here or there. I mean, I think the Vikings. Look, they've had a fantastic year. I'm for one surprised that they've even made it this
Oh, I
far
know.
with this record. Justin Jefferson is number 1B wide receivers in this game.
Hmm.
Sam Darnold, it's very easy to show him ghosts.
Yeah.
That's as long as that happens, and forget it. That offense falls flat. And again, and like their defense is good, but it's like it could be broken, right? Bend but don't break. Well, if it breaks, it breaks. And who's running the ball there? Aaron, Cam Akers on that. Who
Yeah.
else
Well,
running the
Ty
ball there?
Chandler.
Ty
Yeah.
Chandler. Ty Chandler's not bad.
No.
He's not bad. I just don't. He hasn't had a good opportunity for himself. He showed it last season. I don't know
Mhm.
why he hasn't had more of an opportunity. They keep giving it to like Cam.
Because Cam knows the system.
Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows the system.
Yeah. Because of Kevin O'Connell.
What do we got in store for tomorrow night, Rhino?
We have DFS with you, me, and DFS Daddy.
The DFS Daddy?
Yeah. So make sure you come back. We'll be live 8 o'clock Eastern. Looking forward to that.
Put together a couple of lineups.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. All right, do you have any parting words before we say goodnight?
Now I'm actually just be a difference and make a difference in your own life and other people's life, especially right now.
Especially right now.
Yeah.
Football is a great thing. Great entertainment. You know? But
There's bigger things than that.
believe it or not, yeah, you just took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, there are bigger things. Believe it or not, to me, there aren't that many bigger things in football, but there are actually. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have a blessed evening.
Yeah. Good night.